All right, guys, today we'll be adding and subtracting polynomials. So when we're adding and subtracting polynomials, basically all we're doing, combining like terms. So like terms have the same variable and the same exponent. So x squared and x squared, like terms, both have a variable of x, exponent of 2. 2x squared and an x squared still have the same variable of x and an exponent of 2. 2xy squared and 5xy squared. Both have a variable of x, both have a variable of y, and both have a exponent of 2 on the variable y. So those are like terms. So what are not like terms? 2x and 5x squared. So yeah, both have an x, but do they have the same exponent? No. Therefore, they're not like terms. And the only way we can combine our like terms is if they indeed have the same exponent, variable and exponent. So if they have the same variable and exponent, we can simply combine the coefficients. Remember, coefficient is the number in front of the variable. And the variable and exponent stay the same. So let's add some polynomials. So our first example, 4x squared minus 2x plus 7 plus 3x minus 7x squared minus 9. They want us to add this polynomial. I'm paying attention to the operation. They want us to add these two polynomials. So I can do this horizontally or I can do it vertically, and I'll show you both ways. So first, I need to identify my like terms. It's always easiest. So I have 4x squared. Do I have another term that has an x squared? 7. But it's not just a 7 because of the minus sign in front of it makes it a negative 7. So when you're identifying your like terms, make sure that you are highlighting or circling the sign that is directly in front of it. All right, then I have a negative 2x. So do I have another term that has just a variable of x? 3x. And a constant of 7. Constant means it doesn't have a variable. And do I have another constant? A negative 9. So I have identified my like terms. Now I like to group my like terms together because it's just better to visualize it that way. So 4x squared minus 7x squared minus 2x plus a 3x plus 7 minus 9. So I've grouped my like terms. Now remember, since they're already grouped and identified, if they have the same variable and the same exponent, all I'm doing is combining my coefficients. So 4x squared minus 7x squared, the coefficients are 4 minus 7, which gives me a negative 3x squared. Negative 2x plus 3x, the coefficients are negative 2 and a plus 3, so it gives me a coefficient of 1. And a plus 7 minus 9 gives me a minus 2. Notice after you have combined your like terms, you won't have any more like terms. So I don't have between negative 3x squared plus x minus 2, no terms are alike. Therefore, it's done. Now, some kids like to visualize this better vertically, like old school math. 4x squared minus 2x plus 7. And I'm adding these. So adding the second polynomial, minus 7x, negative 7x squared plus 3x minus 9. So I'm still just combining the coefficients. Now my like terms are simply just lined up. So 4 plus a negative 7 gives me negative 3x squared, negative 2x plus positive 3x gives me a plus 1x, and a positive 7 plus a negative 9 gives me a negative 2. Subtracting polynomials. So, paying attention to my operation in the middle, that's letting me know that I am subtracting these two polynomials. So, it's going to work a little bit different because I'm subtracting the second polynomial from the first one. So, the first one is 4x squared minus 2x plus 7. And they want me to take away 3 positives from negative 2x. Can't do that. So what I must first do is distribute. I must distribute this negative into everything behind the parentheses. Now, I can't distribute the negative to the first one because it's not in front of the first one. It's only in front of the last one. So when I distribute it, that means to multiply, negative times a positive 3x gives me a negative 3x. Negative times a negative 7x squared gives me a positive 7x squared. And negative times a negative 9 gives me a positive 9. So I've distributed that negative to every single term behind it. Now this kind of looks like what we kind of just did. Now I can identify my like terms. Same variable, same exponent. Negative 2x and a negative 3x. And a positive 7 and a positive 9. Now I'm going to group my like terms together. 4x squared plus 7x squared minus 2x minus 3x plus 7 plus 9. Now all of my like terms are grouped up, and I can simply combine the coefficients. So 4 plus 7 is 11. Negative 2 minus 3 is a negative 5. And 7 plus 9 is 16. You know you are complete when in your final answer, you don't have any like terms. So what if you want to set this up vertically? Can still do it. 4x squared minus 2x plus 7 minus my second polynomial. Now, you just got to make sure that you are lining up the like terms. So 3x, negative 7x squared, and a negative 9. Notice I did not distribute that negative when I wrote it vertically. I just literally wrote everything as it was. So now 4x squared is lined up with the x squares, squares lined up with the squares, x is lined up with the x's, constants lined up with the constants. Now 4 minus a negative 7 is 11. Negative 2 minus a positive 3, negative 2 minus a positive 3 gives me a negative 5x, and 7 minus a negative 9 gives me positive 16. But what if they gave you a shape and they wanted you to find the perimeter of the rectangle? Well, what does perimeter mean? Perimeter means to add up all the sides. Perimeter means add up everything. So they gave me a rectangle. I know a rectangle has 4 sides. They only gave me 2. I know a couple of things about a rectangle. I know that if this side is 3x squared plus 2y, then the other side opposite of it is also 3x squared plus 2y. And if this side is 5x squared minus 4y plus 3, the side opposite of it is also 5x squared minus 4y plus 3. And they want me to find the perimeter. That means I must add up all 4 sides. So 3x squared plus 2y plus 5x squared minus 4y plus 3 plus 3x squared plus 2y plus 5x squared minus 4y plus 3. Yeah, it's a lot going on. So let's just go ahead and identify our like terms. So we have all of our squares, 3x squared, 5x squared, positive 3x squared, positive 5x squared. Then I have a positive 2y, a negative 4y, a positive 2y, and a negative 4y. And then I have a positive 3 and a positive 3. Now I can combine my like terms. So I have 3x squared plus 5x squared plus 3x squared plus 5x squared plus 2y minus 4y plus 2y minus 4y plus 3 plus 3. Remember, now all my like terms are grouped up. All I'm looking at is the coefficients. 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 3 is 11, plus 5 more is 16. 2 minus 4 plus 2 minus 4. So basically that's negative 8 plus 4, which would give me a negative 4. And 3 plus 3 gives me 6. So the perimeter of this rectangle is 16x squared minus 4y plus 6. Well, what if they gave me the perimeter, but they want me to find the missing side? That means I do not know what this side of my triangle is equal to. But I know that one side is 3y squared plus 10x, and another side is 4y squared plus 8x. And my perimeter is equal to 15y squared plus 30x. So to find that missing side, I need to take what I know from the perimeter. That means I'm going to be subtracting. So my perimeter is 15y squared plus 30x. And to find out what the missing side is, I'm going to subtract it from the sides that I know, which is 3y squared plus 10x. And that addition sign means in addition to, and this side, 4y squared plus 8x. So I can do this one of two ways. But before I distribute my negative, I'm going to combine the like terms inside. So 15y squared plus 30x. My like terms on the inside are 3y squared and 4y squared, which gives me a 7y squared. My other like terms inside my parentheses are a positive 10x and a positive 8x. So that gives me a positive 18x. Now I'm going to distribute the negative. You could have done it before, so that's why I said we can do it one of two ways. So now I'm going to distribute my negative inside the parentheses because I can't just combine everything because of the simple fact of I have to take what I know from the perimeter. So I bring this part down because I'm not distributing anything to the top part. So negative times a positive 7y squared gives me a negative 7y squared. And negative times a positive 18x gives me a negative 18x. Still got to combine my like terms again. 15y squared and a negative 7y squared. And a positive 30x and a negative 18x. So 15y squared minus a 7y squared gives me 8y squared. And a positive 30 minus 18 gives me a positive 12. So the missing side of this triangle is 8y squared plus 12x.